It's Renee in Montana. So, um, I don't know what the lighting is. I don't know what the sound is. We're just going live because a lot of things have happened. They've happened in the last like few days. Like Mercury is retrograde. That's one thing we're talking about. Um, and what that means about communication. My hair is totally wild. Here's the thing. I've got this 100-day project that I'm doing just for myself, just for me to be able to, wow, there's all this activity happening in this studio. I'm like, what is happening here? Can I just breathe and be okay with this? Because that's what we got to do. So a lot has happened. First of all, my house, my landlord died back at the end of last year, and the estate is being reconciled. And that means that I have to move out of the house so that they can do whatever they need to do to prepare it to for sale. And I have the option to buy, but in order to make it possible for them not to have to work around a tenant, they're just asking me to move out. So that's great upheaval, right? So I thought, I've done this multiple times in my life before, and there's got to be people out there who are experiencing what I'm experiencing, which is like the fear of uncertainty. I kind of knew it was would be coming, so I did what I could to prepare as much as possible. But I'm still like doing my life right where I'm at, which is one of the things I want to talk about is like right where you're at. Do your life right where you're at to the best of your ability. So I had a beautiful experience today. I saw a community member riding his like Kubota mower tractor, not a Kubota, I shouldn't name names, but I recognized that that mower was awesome and probably really fun to learn to drive. And then I had this moment where I was like, you've been talking about creating a tool library of like big tools that people can can rent out or not rent out, can just sign out from the library. Now, I live in a tiny little town, but I think this could work in other tiny little towns, and I think it could work in larger communities too. So I've been thinking about it and wanting to test it, and this is the opportunity to do that. So I stopped by this guy who's driving around his mower. He comes up, we get into a great conversation. Now, and he's the meat cutter at the local grocery store. So I like him because of that, because I like meat cutters. Um, and I'm probably just losing some people right now who are irritated about eating meat, but it's for my own health. And so, oh God, I'm like, what was that? That was a fly that just got on the camera. Ugh, that was crazy. Yeah, we're at the end of the season, so the flies are coming out too. So just welcome to my world. So this house has been my house for the past 5 years. And when I came to town, this lady said, if you don't have a job with like outside income or you don't come with money, like this place is going to be challenging. And you should get out now while you can, because she kind of alluded to like some kind of curse, a 5 year curse. I'm like, 5 year prison sentence or something like that. And then you just got to make the best of it. So I've made it through the 5 years, and now it's like the universe is going like, get out, go do something else. And I've started all these projects here, so it's like, yeah, I don't want to abandon ship on the projects, including the house and all of the papers that I have here. So the other day, and I hope that the audio on this is good. Um, I guess there's no other way. I could have tested another way. I I we'll find out what happens next. But I I don't have enough people like viewers or subscribers to release my YouTube to the phone where I can. So I'm using my laptop, and I've got like a weird light set up over here. I know the lighting pieces, but I just was like, if you don't do this right now, you don't come to excuse me, you don't come to the video right now and just share what's going on, what you're doing, and invite people along on the adventure with you, you're missing an opportunity. So I didn't want to miss the opportunity. So I came live to video. And this is going to be imperfect. Like I have this saying about one, start right where you are, and two, um, perfectly imperfect. And like you start right where you are, and so you're going to see transformation, my transformation. And if you come along on the journey, you'll have your own transformation because I don't really hold back. I've been doing like this online work in snippets and whatever. But it's like now I have to do it. One, it feels under duress because I have a timeline, right? The end of the month, I have to be moved out of here, ready to hand over the keys. So there's that piece. There's a timeline that's external to me. And I have a lot of information that I want to share. And whatever I can share, and a lot of it is just notes that I've handwritten, and I want to capture this information the best way that I can. I don't have time to sit down and type it all out. And also, what happens to me when I try to type it out, I keep expanding what I'm writing. So I'm going to expand improvisationally with you, Iya Improvosa, and we'll talk more about that. Improvisationally with what I have in front of me and just trust the process. So you're seeing someone who's trusting life and trusting the process, even though it is absolutely filled with uncertainty. And part of the reason that I want to do this is to inspire you, no matter what your age. And I'm coming up on my 50th year. Half my century is gone, and who knows how I will feel, what my energy levels will be, what my health will be. We don't know any of that. And we have this whole history behind us, nearly 50 years of history behind us. And have we achieved our goals? And if not, are we willing to let go of some of those dreams and ideas in order to open and expand into our best what's next? And so I'm just sharing where I'm at. The universe is requiring that I dismantle my house, uproot myself from my home, even though it was somebody else's home owned by someone else, and figure out what's next. And take all the information that I've gathered along the way and try to make it as useful as possible and do it in a timely fashion. And this is the legacy we have the opportunity to leave. And my tech has been all over the place. I need a new phone. Upgrading a new phone is going to be a pain in the ass. My phone gets way too hot. It's got a crack in it. It's an iPhone 7. I just need an upgrade on my phone. So, and I'm living in a tiny little town on an Indian reservation, and their poverty is rampant, including, good jobs with good employers that don't have your fellow employees being on drugs and alcohol, which is really common around here. And it's like they say that you want to be around like the five people that you're around are the people that you are going to most likely be like. And so I don't want to work in those kinds of situations. I don't want to work for an employer that is not good or kind to me, or the other employees, because sometimes you can like suck up and they're nice to you until they discard you, but in the short term it's like you can make it work. But look, at nearly 5 decades of life here on earth, I just don't want to put up with bullshit anymore. So if you're like me and you want to go through the transformation process, I'm here to build the know, like, trust factor. And I'm doing it rather imperfectly. And I'm okay with that. And if you follow along with me, um, you will get the opportunity to just join the journey. And I want you to know that the live chat is like, I'm not sure. I don't have anybody who's chatting yet, but I have a feeling like I might not be able to tune into that. So it's probably better this way anyway. But I want you to ask me questions and share your experiences with me with your own transformation. And as I go through this process of sharing information about my life and what I think about and have been thinking about and what I've learned, please, please, please share your thoughts and experiences because this is how we create community and conversation. And you'll see the kind of trajectory that my life has been on to lead me here. And I'm going to use a variety of pieces of content that I've built over time to share this process. It's just like, what do they call that? Well, dismantling the house, like literally taking it apart, deconstruction. We're deconstructing my belief systems, the knowledge that I've acquired by writing notes free by hand, stuff that I've taken from hand and put it on the computer. I'm not really holding back right now. This is the whole kit and caboodle. And if somebody comes along and they are able to take this information and run with it in another special way, I've already been delivering it up to the universe in this on the universe's behalf, on God's behalf, as I am a conduit. I am a scribe or what the universe is trying to bring through here on planet Earth. That's how I felt about myself, and it's been my experience. So you get the benefit of that, of joining me on the journey. And I am going to have a landing page and I am going to post it. So look around here. But I had to come to camera first and talk to you directly before I lost my nerve, before I lost my courage, because this is important stuff. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go get one of the pieces of paper that I just found, and then this can go in the burn pile, or it can go in the yeah, I think it can just go in the burn pile. I don't want to carry the weight of all this paper with me to my next place, but I do want this knowledge and wisdom to be captured. So part of what I'm doing is just bring it to you right now on video, and then these videos then can be by delegating the jobs that are required to cut them up, make them into useful little snippets that will inspire people to come to join us on this adventure, be part of the transformational community that we're creating here. And I'm just riffing right now. This is just me. I don't have no script. I'm trusting myself that what I have to offer you is valuable. And I think if you join the community, if you sign up for updates via email, and I can reach out to you that way and let you know what's happening when. And I'm also putting a resource directory together so that as I figure out how to disseminate this information, disseminate my process and projects and whatever thoughts better on a calendar basis, that you'll have access to that, and you'll have access to the people who inspire me and their resources, the resources they provide. So this is kind of what we're doing here right now. So give me a second. I'm gonna also be going through my we'll have a better camera. I just got to find that. It's like in another room. You're gonna see how the tools are getting put together. The like for the tool library, I want to have a tech tool library and I want to have a physical tools library, and I want it to be managed by the police department and the library. That the if somebody needs a snow plow, if we have a little fleet of snow plows and somebody wants to make money, and they can, but they need to get out into the snow in the middle of the night, that we can call the police department and have them show up with the keys to get them inside of the tools library, so those people can be out in the middle of the night in the middle of a blizzard plowing the streets, so in the morning when people wake up they can get their cars out of their alleyways and streets. So that's just one idea around the tool library. And I want you to just take notes like crazy. If there's anything that inspires you and anything that I'm talking about, I have this idea about my existential inspiration or something like that. Existential 17. Ideas that I would give to my 17-year-old about how to make money, how to do things in the world, whatever. And I call it the whole kit and caboodle. And so this is what you're getting right now. You're getting the video version of my whole kit and caboodle. So I'll be right back. Okay, so this is a piece of paper that I created. It's like a worksheet, and it's two-sided. And I like things that I can fold up that people are actively involved with. And this is a marketing thing I learned years ago. If you give to do with their hands and something to look at and something to carry into their next universe. And this is just really a one pager, but and it's easy to hand out, 4 sides. It's a brochure. And okay, so here's what it says. Here are a few things I like about myself. One, two, three, four. Simple. Write that down. Like, I don't know when this is going to get put into inputted into the computer. This is written by hand right now. I will take a picture of it and I will make that into a something that I can post somewhere. But um and am I worried about people stealing my work? Well, of course, because people will steal my work, but they won't be able to bring it forth like I do because I created this. And also, there's nothing new under the sun. So I'm sure somebody has something quite similar in their own handwriting and that they put into the computer and did on Canva and got their graphic and made their worksheet. And good on ya. Carry forth this important information. And I will be putting it together into the whole kit and caboodle, and I have a plan for a way of disseminating that information both digitally and more physically. But I'm not going to talk about that right now because that's a trade secret. And I'm not going to divulge that information until you receive your thank you note from me, and you'll have more knowledge about what you bought into with the whole kit and caboodle. All right, so let's get back to this. So front, here are a few things I like about myself. Let me begin. I like about myself that I was willing to see this moment and say, today's the day that I'm going live on camera. None of it is perfect. I don't know how the audio is. I hope it's good enough that we can at least capture the transcript from it, because then that can become written content. If this audio video isn't as good a quality as we hope, let's cross our fingers that the audio quality is better than we imagine. And we know that we're going to update this and you're going to see the transformation. You're also going to come along with me and join the journey to see how long it takes to go from 0 to 1,000 subscribers. I think that's what it is that will unlock, gamified, unlock my ability to just take the phone out into the field wherever I am, set it up on a tripod or lean it up against something and come and be live with you that way. Right now, I'm literally tethered to the computer. And so, but we're going to make do. This is one thing in improvisation is that constraints and restrictions to an artist help to create the art. And in the Dada movement, sometimes the things like that break the art, that cause the art to have a blemish, cause its imperfection, um, imperfect. Oh yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to think about what my imperfect in something community was a while ago, but then my Facebook went down. This is why I want and need your email address. So look around here and find, it's probably in the notes because I'll add it after. Hope the link where you can sign up to get emails from me, because I've now had Facebook, who I got hacked with and caused a total ruckus in my life, and that I still haven't gone back and invited all my friends from childhood back into my new Facebook page, which I felt like I could not have a Facebook page. I have to have a Facebook page, right? But now I can't go live on Facebook because the audio quality is total crap from my phone. And that's either the phone or it's Facebook. And my TikTok audio is fine, but my Meta audio is terrible. So which platform am I going to choose? It's not going to be the one where the audio is terrible. And so after I listen back to this, I'm going to find out whether or not YouTube's audio is okay for me this way. But to get back to the gamification, we want to get me and this channel to 1,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. So we'll go back and look, how long did it actually take for me to be able to get to 1,000 subscribers and to be able to go live on the, the iPhone that's going to be coming to me by donation or by selling something, selling the 100 days thing. So anyway, you know that that's going to come, that this adventure is going to have an offer, calls to action and offers every single day, because part of the reason that we're here is utilizing the tech tools that we have to the best of our ability. And so let's come to number two. I am able, I trust myself to come live to camera like this. And that's something I like about myself. I like that I'm kind to, and that I have a fierceness to me. That if people are bullshitting me, I'm going to call them out on it. And that I'll mostly do it as kind as possible. But I am going to speak truth to my experience and not worry about it too much. That's part of why you can trust me. You can trust me because I spent 25 years as a body worker. That's new information about me. 25 years as a massage therapist, 25 plus now, because I still use it as a trade, because I still want to keep those skills up, because it's an important part of my past and my life and what I would want to teach and carry on to children that I have, because I think it is so important. And yes, I'm going all over the place here. Keep up, follow along. You're getting to know me and like me and trust me because I'm honest. Um, I'm tenacious. So see, so once you get sort of this rampage of appreciation, like Hicks talks about, Abraham talks about, or Hicks, what is her first name? Esther Hicks. She does these rampages of gratitude, and to say these are the things that I like about myself. Once you get going on it, it's like it flows. So we start with four. Can you see that on that first page? We start with four backwards. Um, the next thing is I want you to write an elements poem. And this goes way back into my history when I was thinking about um, geography and storytelling, and how the original epigenetic trauma goes back to the elements, which are wind, water, fire, and earth. And I was like, oh God, what? Sorry, I was Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Earth, wind, water, fire. Gaia is one of Captain Planet and the Planeteers. It's like, part of our childhood, my childhood as a Gen Xer, a child of the 80s. So I wanted to use this. I think it would be really fun to use it, and have actually I have used this. In fact, I think I created this for a workshop that happened 2 weeks before lockdown from the pandemic. I was going to go into the workshop business, and this was going to be the type of stuff that I was doing for that. So, like community building and self discovery and um, um, what do you call it? Self expression. So, okay, so we know what the elements are, and I want you to tell me a story or tell me a feeling about the elements, each one of them. Start with wind, then water, fire, and earth. And you're going to have preferences. And you can go back and you can do a story, a poem, or something on each one if you want to do it. And then you can combine them all together. And I have one that I will unearth and share with you that I wrote a zillion years ago. And then this is so you can work it out, each one, earth, water, wind, and fire, and take notes there. And this is my little worksheet. It says guidelines. One, trust yourself. And I think this is wisdom for the ages, right? One, trust yourself. Two, oh, and under trust yourself, I have like these like little offshoots. So under trust yourself, it says Stretch yourself. Stop before you break. Rest as needed. Be gentle with yourself. I needed to find this for myself, man. I The truth is this is scary. And I've built a lot up into the what's next for myself, but I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work fast enough for me to save myself. And what would save myself be? Save myself could be to buy this house for cash instead of getting into the banking system and uh, the the percentage rates of interest rates that are really high right now. So a cash setting would be the best scenario, but I don't really have that. But miracles happen and things change on a holy moment. So I am going to do a video on what it would take via sales of the whole kit and caboodle or sales of the 100-day transformation challenge adventure. I don't want to call it a challenge. It's already challenging enough. Just trying to do it. But how can I actually monetize this experience and use it as a deconstruction? And it's like, how do I take all that I've learned about media and social media and share it with you right now? And I guess I'm just doing it out loud. So, guidelines: trust yourself, stretch yourself, stop before you break, rest as needed, be gentle with yourself. Two, ask, ask, invite, ask, invite. What's next? Three, yes, and yes, the house is going on the market. And how can I either save this house or gather enough money to put it down on a different house that I would prefer to this house and have it be monetarily good? Because one thing that I realized in the threat of losing my house is that I really do want a base camp that no one can take away from me. And the best way to do that is to pay for your property outright. There's so many people, there's that fly again. There's so many people who suggest get into housing, get into the mortgages. And so many people are like, don't do that. Like, don't be saddled by debt to a bank that you have to make work. So I am listening to that side of it. And I would like to have a base camp in the town that I'm in for lots of reasons. And I'll talk about that. And I'll talk about other places that you might consider that are similar to the town that I live in and what my thought process is. So if you are in a position where you're like something just disrupted your life and you are not in a position where you think that you can move or change, but you have to, like I am. I have to move and change because of outside external influences. And I either embrace that and go, how is this going to test my skills so I trust myself better? That's where we want you to get to. And that's why following along on this adventure with me by signing up for the emails and hitting the bell for the notification here, subscribing to my YouTube channel, hitting the bell for notification. I am not guaranteeing I'm coming here every day for 100 days because I don't know what this is going to look like. I've already done 20-day challenges and 40-day challenges and that sort of thing. I already have some of those in the can, and you will get access to those if you get the whole kit and caboodle. What I'm creating here is an experience so you don't have to feel alone when life is in upheaval. And sometimes we need a guardian and a guide to help us through that. And one of my missions that I identified as my purpose on earth is to help people feel less alone. Because when we feel alone, it makes it a lot harder to do our work, to activate our purpose, to bring our work into the world. And so whatever I can do to help make this easier for you, I want to do. Okay, And that's what this is all about. It's like I'm in upheaval right now, and instead of um, isolating myself, but I couldn't put the blanket over my head anyway, just to sleep through it because it's going to happen whether or not I want it to or not. So, how do I make the best of it? How do I make the best of it? And my hope, my aim is that this will inspire you to consider whatever challenges you're facing right now, whatever upheaval in your life is, whatever uncertainty is happening to you, that you can come along on my adventure. And my intention is to help you think about your life and the experience more openly, and so that you can do it with more grace and gratitude and graciousness than maybe in the past. That's my aim for myself in this. Okay, so let's see. Guidelines: trust yourself, stretch yourself, stop before you break, rest as needed, be gentle with yourself. Two, ask, invite. What's next? What's next beyond this? Yes, and it's a theater, an improvisational theater idea where you just go, oh, yes, the house is changing. Clubhouse today totally did a crazy thing. And then this is when crazy upheaval happens. This is when I often go, I've got to do something right now because capture this moment. This moment in time is important. And so, what are we learning from it? Yes, and yes, Clubhouse set in motion a whole bunch of things that are, in my opinion, right now, as it looks right now, uncool, disingenuous to their members. They're doing something that's untrustworthy because they completely changed the way the platform looks and operates, and none of us know how to use it, and it's not functional at all the way that it was before, which is where we fell in love with the app itself and with each other. Now we don't have access to each other. Now, this might all change. This might all change over the next few days. There's this great ask that they are not voicing. They're not communicating to us what is about to happen, what is happening, and how we're going to navigate through it. And it's a great disservice to the community that they've been serving. And they're a company that says that they're of service to us. And now this is not of service to us. But that upheaval happened. And it made me and just a few other, I couldn't even find my friends. I just lucked out that somebody found something I wrote or spoke or whatever and said, you want to chat in a room together, and we did, and we're both just like mind boggled and just going, this is terrible, this is the end of something, this feels terrible, they're not listening to us, they don't care about us, like these are all the responses. That was just the two of us, and I don't know how to use it or fix it. So instead of that, I said my usual, my go-to Clubhouse, my go-to isn't working right now properly. Blame it on Mercury retrograde, blame it on bad business practices, blame it on terrible UX UI, blame it on people who advise them poorly, blame it on people who are trying to shut them down and undermine them and gets giving them bad advice. I might feel like shame on them for doing this to us. And I might come back and use the service. I'm going to let it play out because it has served me well in the past, and they have made changes in the past and it got better. So maybe this is just like that. But it was stunning and upsetting. And so I came to a different platform, and I'm doing a different way of doing this. And I'm coming to camp not in my full how you would want to be set up and perfect, but that's, you can trust this too, that you don't want to have to dress up to be in my presence. And I don't want to have to dress up to be in your presence either, because we're doing deeper work than that. We're doing this deep personal and interpersonal work that will benefit our careers, our professional lives, as well as our personal lives. So this is all what all of this is about. So there's the yes and. Yes, Clubhouse failed me today. Clubhouse did a huge update that wasn't expected, and it is very upsetting. It totally threw over the apple cart. And it might be to my benefit because it forced me to come to YouTube. Maybe Clubhouse lost me because now I'm going to spend my time on YouTube. Maybe it will get better on Clubhouse and it will be beneficial, and I will use that um, system to serve me as it is now and will never go back. Maybe Clubhouse will actually sell me back my data because they chopped my list of people that I was friends with to 1,000 people, where it was nearly 3,000 people. 2,800 is where I was at. Now I have 1,000 people that I can connect with, and it's devastated our rooms. I don't know how people are going to feel about this. It's going to be interesting over the next couple of days and see if Clubhouse recovers from people jumping ship and just being like, no, you've screwed with me for the last time. And I'm not going to play by the rules. You don't seem to care about the community that's here creating content on your behalf. And they may have nixed the long form content where you can actually have engaging conversations with people in real time and get feedback and camaraderie in real time. And that would be why they would lose me ultimately. But, and I will say this, if that company, if Clubhouse or another company comes up with what the earliest, one of the earliest versions, I won't say the earliest versions, but one of the earliest versions was very simple, and my aunties who are in their 70s could use it and be successful and be able to be a part of engaging communities. And over time, they've made it less available to older people. That was one of the benefits of Clubhouse, is to be engaging to people of all ages, that they could we could cross pollinate and we could talk about real topics in real time. And now it's in this asynchronous, I have to talk to myself about something, and I don't get the opportunity to get feedback from anyone because they're saying because this is all over the world and it's asynchronous and people will come to it. I don't know how it's going to work or how it's going to benefit me, but I guess we're going to see. My friends have been chopped back to 1,000, and this is where we start. This is where we start. So we're going to see what's next. Yes, and Clubhouse did this screwball thing, and it'll be okay either way. It'll be okay whether I change apps where I'm reaching out to people, and we're starting here too. It's like, how do I get from from no subscribers to 1,000 subscribers so I can take you on the road with me and not be beholden to being on my webcam. That's our first goal here on YouTube, is that happens. We get me and this me and you, because it benefits you. It benefits you if you can come out on the road with me and have adventures around my town as I am find this seeing how this tools library is opening up for the people of my community. This was the other interesting thing that happened to me. I said, I think what I'm going to do is find a way to give over as much of my assets to a cooperative, a community cooperative. And so this tools library, I think, is going to be one of those ways to do that. And so it's forcing me to, this whole move and everything, it's forcing me to do things that I've been talking about. And it's just like, I don't want to carry all this weight of of information and objects and tools that I'm not actually using around with me anymore, because it's a lot to keep track of and protect. And there's freedom in minimalism. And so I think right now where I'm at is like self actualization through the freedom of minimalism. And I can always regather things. But that's also why I'm taking an inventory. I'm going to share with you my inventory so far after I finish the guidelines for this well, worksheet. Okay, so there's the yes and then number 4, resist the temptation to say no. Like what we want to do in times when it's like in upheaval, we want to say no because it's like, I don't know if I have the capability to do yet another thing. I'm tending with a garden that is overflowing, so abundant with produce that we're falling behind in producing it. And that makes me feel icky. So I want to be able to go there. See, this would be a perfect time for me to go live to YouTube and bring you in on the process of me actually processing food and bringing you out to the garden, harvesting the food, and then inside to process the food. Like that could be a really fun piece. And I'm trying to keep that up while I'm figuring out where I'm going to move to and how I'm going to get it all organized and how I'm going to keep and disseminate this information and what's a keeper and what's a throw and awayer and doing all of this so that I don't have to carry the weight of all the paper with me, right? So there's that. Okay. So I'm in the process of resisting the temptation to say no. Because I want to say no. And the other thing is there are places where we do have to say no. And I did this yesterday with fierceness and clarity about what the things are that are important for me to move forward. And my mentor and friend called me out on it and said there might be another way for you to be able to do both. At least consider this. You don't have to do it, but at least consider it. And it was a good idea. So I'm going to move that forward and I'll keep you posted about how that process is going. And we'll get back to this. In fact, this little worksheet that I found, this is like when I think God is like truly on my side because this I don't even know where it was hidden at and it just like rose to the surface like this is the first thing you need to read out and share with your audience. Um okay. So the next point 5 is keep breathing. And if nobody's talked to you about breathing patterns that can be useful to you, take it from my 25 years of experience as a body worker and helping people move through pain and stress in their bodies, their nervous system being out of whack. Dang, freaking flies. At the table, my massage table's sitting right here in the middle of the living room with boxes on top of it. But um, so I'm still, practicing, as I said, still using it as a trade. Um, 25 years of meeting people at the table when they are stressed and in pain and helping them breathe into their body, breathe into their own experience. I've I've said this and helped people practice it a lot over the years. And I use it with myself when I'm really spun out. And the first piece is just to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So in through the nose and out through the mouth and feel your feet on the floor and feel the back of your body. And notice where there's any tension in your body. And actively bring your breath attention to those points of tension in your body, allowing them to expand. So my chest is feeling a little constricted. You can sort of see the expansion of breath across my shoulder blades and the back of my body. That's where I'm really feeling the tension. But right across from where my hand is on the front of my body. And I'm feeling the back of my body expanding outward and then relaxing. It's not contracting, it's relaxing. It's still expanding and releasing tension from the back of my body and my shoulders through the center of my body and my spine, through my tailbone and my hips and my thighs, the bones of my legs, my thighs, my calves, my feet, and just feeling that tension releasing and relaxing through the center of my body. I will probably do this breath practice for myself and for you because it is a staple. And people who've been through a lot of upheaval in their life, when asked, often say, the best advice I can give you is to keep breathing. Because there is a place where we want to give up and let go of our last breath when it's hard and painful and full of upheaval. And there are people who can teach how to release pain and stress from your body as good or better than I because they've been through different kinds of pain and upheaval in their lives. And I think a part of what we will do here on with Remarkable You is to bring those people, those inspirations to you. That I'm not the only one. This is not just about me. And I'm taking a risk here by bringing you in and sharing with you all my thoughts in the moment, including my frustrations with a social media platform that I feel kind of screwed me and all of us over today. Um, and just saying that stuff out loud and being like, it's okay. It's okay to be honest about your experience. In fact, it's useful. And 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 I'm doing it so that you gain confidence. Sharing if you don't feel like you've got the confidence or competence to do that, you'll get better at it if you hang out with me. So I encourage you to do that. So point 5, keep breathing. Point 6. Now remember, I haven't seen this document in a long time. I picked it up. I did not even look it over. I'm just reading it as I found it earlier today. Um, so point 6, remember, rem- remember, you are not doing it wrong. Remember, you are not doing it wrong. Follow your instincts. You are beautiful. Remember, you are not doing it wrong. Follow your instincts. You are beautiful. And own it. Own every part of that. One, start with I am beautiful. I am beautiful. And then see yourself that way. Beautiful. That's the beginning it. Here are a few things I like about myself. Go on that rampage of appreciation. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate yourself, appreciate yourself, appreciate yourself. And know that everything that you are appreciating about yourself, that is your beauty. And then if you don't feel like you're that confident in trusting your instincts, get better at it. Find teachers, myself included, who will continually encourage you to trust your instincts. And discernment is the word of the day here. I will bring the word discernment up over and over again because discernment is about trusting your instincts and your wisdom of experience, and that just trust what it feels like in your body, what shows up in your body. Trust that. And practice it. And you want to get your feelings, your emotions, your physical feeling in your body. You need to learn to trust that. And sometimes it's saying flee, but you have to assess then the situation. Am I safe in the moment? If you're safe in the moment, then that might be your trauma um, coming forth and encouraging you to like get to a safe situation because you're not used to what this is. So there's a balance here. But the two pieces, and I guess this I'll add this in, it's like, so you trust your instincts and you practice trusting your instincts and you practice trusting your intuition. And then you also have to know yourself well enough. So self awareness of what where you might um, where you might flee because freeze when your nervous system is activated, when you don't feel safe. So you have to go, am I safe? If you're safe, okay, what's this about? And you don't have to come up with a story about it, although that can be helpful for a time. But you can also just remember that you are beautiful. You're safe in this moment. It's going to be okay. One of my mantras was, I'm okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. It's okay. I'm okay. Like, and some version of that, saying it over and over again. And it might, if you have to repeat that to yourself, you might be like, whoa, am I neurotic or what? It's like whatever it takes you to keep breathing, whatever it takes you to get through that moment where you're learning to trust your instincts and reconcile it with your trauma response: fight, flight, freeze, fawn. If you're doing one of those things, you have to ask yourself, am I safe? If you're not safe, leave the situation. If your intuition is saying, this is not safe, do your due diligence. Make sure that the companies that you're working with and the people you're hanging out with are worthy of your time and attention. And okay, so still, I'm not worried about it not being being live and having no one here in the chat. That's fine with me because I actually don't want anyone here right now because I can't manage or man the chat. And I want to make sure that people feel like seen, heard, and welcome. So this is one of those cases where it's like you want to have a moderator who can speak on your behalf, a proxy moderator, you by proxy, who knows how you kind of respond to things and is keeping people in the fold. We'll work towards that. By the time our 100 days are up, we'll be there. And all of this will be much more smoothed out. All right, we're at 52 minutes, and I am just going to give this an hour and then we'll call it a day. Um, and we'll see what we can get done in the next 7 minutes. So, point seven. So, six is remember, you're not doing it wrong. And we make mistakes and we do it less good than we imagine for ourselves. Like we hold often a high standard for ourselves, often even higher than we hold for other people. So if you're not living up to that, you can feel bad about yourself. Don't. Just keep doing it a little better and a little better all the time. And even if you feel like you're really underwater and you're doing it all wrong, uh, you still have to go unless you know. Here's that other thing. If you feel like you are out of alignment, out of integrity with yourself, fix that first. Focus on getting that resolved first because it's really painful to be out of integrity. And the worst thing, and it's hard to do anything else when you're at in that position. So get right by yourself and right with God first. And other than that, if you're just living your life and things are going awry and you're having to figure out how to do stuff and it's like challenging you again and you don't know if you're going to make it through it and on and on and on, just say this or remember, you're not doing it wrong. Follow your instincts. You are beautiful. You're beautiful and you're like trying to figure it out. You're beautiful and just trying to figure it out and do it a little better than you did yesterday or last year or whatever. And notice that. Notice where you are doing it better and give yourself kudos for it. Okay, so the next part is point seven. Keep breathing. Let your nervous system relax. Use your nervous system to help you release tension from your body. That's a gift you can give yourself without it having to be given by anyone else. You can do that for yourself and you can do it in every moment. Every moment you can find your breath. And we'll work on some other breathing techniques. This is just reminding me, oh, look at all this content I have to share. So coming soon, we'll do more breathing stuff. Okay. And then this final piece, be gentle with each other. So there are other people who are going through this process too, and they are not living up to your expectations. Maybe they're living up to their own expectations. We don't know. but they are not doing it the way you think they should. And you have to understand that they're going through their own stuff. So be gentle with yourself and be gentle with each other, right? So that's the point. Okay. So I'm going to go over this really quick one more time so we have it all on the same page. Guidelines. Trust yourself. Stretch yourself. Stop before you break. Rest as needed. Be gentle with yourself. 2. Ask, invite. What's next? 3. Yes, and. 4. Resist the temptation to say no. 5. Keep breathing. 6. Remember, you're not doing it wrong. Follow your instincts. You are beautiful. 7. Keep breathing. 8. Be gentle with yourself. Then do here a rampage of appreciation. Here are a few things I like about myself. Go after it. Give it. Write an elements poem about your experience and your love of the elements. It will help make all of it better. Hang on for just 1 second. So this is my inventory, and I don't, it's hard to see, but that's my inventory so far. It's 2 pages long, and I'm going to work on the entryway right now, and that has storage, orange music box, basket for gloves, hats, and scarves, sport coats. What am I giving away out of here? Women's professional jacket in olive, blue gray liner jacket, yellow raincoat, black sorrel boots, muck boots, blue Anu hiking boots that are really old, but I love them and they are still in great shape. Or not, they're not in great shape anymore, but the company, because of Teva, went under, or they're not releasing those boots anymore, even though they were awesome boots. Brown Birkenstocks, loafer style, blue slippers, white slippers, black strappy sandals, Joseph Seibel square-toed women's shoes, black storage container, and miscellaneous tools. And that's what's going in this box over here. So let me run and get 3 minutes left. What's going to happen in 3 minutes? Okay. So these 2 pairs of boots are going in the box. One is muck boots, and they're warm in the winter. They're pretty slip-free. You can wear them in a lot of mud. I live in a place that gets very muddy, and so that's what's going in the go box, or the box that will come with me, because I don't want to have to rebuy those. They're still in pretty good shape. So I think I'm going to have to let go of the hiking boots, but I might do that when I leave town and just wear them up to that point. Because let me show you. Oh, yeah. So I have these Birkenstocks. They're well worn. And these Anu boots, they're really well worn. But they both fit like gloves, and it's hard to give up boots and shoes that fit like gloves. And sometimes you have to let go of things in order for new, better stuff, newer to come through. So maybe that's the point of the whole thing. I'm going to stick it, well, I'm still using these boots, so I'm going to leave them until then. Black strappy shoes, Joseph Seibels. Oh my God, I remember when I got these shoes. I freaking love them. And these are good black strappy sandals. I don't, we're coming to the end of summer, and I probably don't need the black strappy sandals. And, well, these Joseph Seibel shoes are in really good shape. The other thing about these shoes is that they're great for dancing, because they have like the bottom of them is like perfect for the dance floor. So they're going in the box, and I won't necessarily take the box out right now. Or I might put it on the shelf where I get to make a last minute decision on it. But now I have boots and stuff out of one room. It is getting cleared up slowly but surely. And by the time I'm ready to move out, it's going to be brilliant, and you will be a part of this. So I am so grateful that you're here. Thanks for coming along on the journey, and we will be in touch soon. I look for the subscribe to this YouTube channel and um, get on the email list. So that's what my call to action and my ask of you. And help me get to 1,000 subscribers as fast as possible so that we can go on field trips and adventures with the smartphone and the new updated smartphone. So, all right. Thanks so much. We'll be in touch soon. Take care till then.